सद्गुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् निर्मलहृदय विराजितचरणं निर्मलहृदय विराजितचरणं सर्वचराचरव्यापकचरणं सर्वचराचरव्यापकचरणं भवसागर उद्धारकचरणं भवसागर उद्धारकचरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् श्रीगुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् सद्गुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् सद्गुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् मानस भज रे गुरुचरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् सद्गुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् निर्मलहृदय विराजितचरणं सर्वचराचरव्यापकचरणं भवसागर उद्धारकचरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् सद्गुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् मानस भज रे गुरुचरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् सद्गुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् निर्मलहृदय विराजितचरणं सर्वचराचरव्यापकचरणं भवसागर उद्धारकचरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् सद्गुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् मानस भज रे गुरुचरणं श्रीगुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् सद्गुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् श्रीगुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् सद्गुरुचरणं प्रणमाम्यहम् कलाधरा नटन मनोहरा नटन कलाधरा नटन मनोहरा नटन कलाधरा नटन मनोहरा नटन कलाधरा नटन मनोहरा मुनि जन वंदित गंगाधरा मुनि जन वंदित गंगाधरा मुनि जन वंदित गंगाधरा मुनि जन वंदित गंगाधरा गंगाधरा हर गंगाधरा गंगाधरा हर गंगाधरा गंगाधरा हर गंगाधरा गंगाधरा हर गंगाधरा शिव गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा शिव गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा हर गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा हर गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा नटन कलाधरा नटन मनोहरा नटन कलाधरा नटन मनोहरा मुनि जन वंदित गंगाधरा मुनि जन वंदित गंगाधरा गंगाधर गंगाधर हर हर 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 गंगाधरा शिव गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा शिव गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा हर गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा हर गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा नटन कलाधरा नटन मनोहरा नटन कलाधरा नटन मनोहरा मुनि जन वंदित गंगाधरा मुनि जन वंदित गंगाधरा गंगाधरा हर गंगाधरा गंगाधरा हर गंगाधरा शिव गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा शिव गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा हर गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा हर गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा गंगाधर गंगाधर हर हर 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 गंगाधरा शिव गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा शिव गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा हर गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा हर गौरी मनोहर गंगाधरा नटन कलाधरा नटन मनोहरा नटन कलाधरा नटन मनोहरा मुनि जन वंदित गंगाधरा मुनि जन वंदित गंगाधरा मुनि जन वंदित गंगाधरा मुनि जन वंदित गंगाधरा मुनि जन वंदित चरणा कलिमल दहना
मंगल चरणा कलिमल दहना
मंगल चरणा कलिमल दहना
मंगल चरणा कलिमल दहना
नारायण केशवा
हरि नारायण केशवा
हरि नारायण केशवा
हरि नारायण केशवा
जय राधा जय माधवा पाहि
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 भव भय हरणा वंदित चरणा
भव भय हरणा वंदित चरणा
जय राधा जय माधवा पाहि
जय राधा जय माधवा पाहि
मंगल चरणा कलिमल दहना
मंगल चरणा कलिमल दहना
नारायण केशवा
हरि नारायण केशवा
जय राधा जय माधवा पाहि
जय राधा जय माधवा पाहि
भव भय हरणा वंदित चरणा
भव भय हरणा वंदित चरणा
जय राधा जय माधवा पाहि
जय राधा जय माधवा पाहि
मंगल चरणा कलिमल दहना
मंगल चरणा कलिमल दहना
नारायण केशवा
हरि नारायण केशवा
जय राधा जय माधवा पाहि
जय राधा जय माधवा पाहि
भव भय हरणा वंदित चरणा
भव भय हरणा वंदित चरणा
जय राधा जय माधवा सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद् पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। So this is the weekend Bhagavad Gita class, and we are in the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. This chapter began with several questions on the part of Arjuna. Kim tad brahma kim adhyatmam? What is that Brahman? What is adhyatmam? Based on the last verses of the earlier chapter. But the main theme of this chapter is how does a yogi depart from this body? Because that was the prayana kale pisamam te vidu yukta chetasah. Lord Krishna said that such yogis, prayana kale pi, even at the time of departing from this body, yukta chetasah, those whose mind is centered on me, they reach me. Therefore, Arjuna asked several questions. But again, the important question is, prayana kale cha katham gneyosi niyatatmavihi. O Lord, niyatatmavihi, by those whose atma or the mind is niyatam, those by whose mind is focused upon you, centered upon you, merged into you. Prayana kale, at the time of death, how are you to be known? How do they know you? Meaning, how does it happen that even at the time of departure from this body, which would imagine involves a lot of struggle because there is a desire, there is a struggle to hold on to this life. And the life wants to depart from here. So prana wants to depart, and I am usually jiva wants to hold on to the prana of the life. So we imagine a lot of struggle at the time of death. At that time, to imagine that there is a mind that is not only free from that struggle, at the same time totally concentrated on the self or in Ishvara, that is something hard to imagine, but that is the kind of yogi that Lord Krishna is talking about in the 8th chapter here. And the importance of remembering the Lord at the time of departure from his body has been stated by Lord Krishna by giving us a general rule. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tame vaidikaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitah. Yam yam bhavam smaran, whatever is the bhava, or whatever it is the thought with which you depart from this body, that is what determines your destiny. So last thought, while departing from this body, determines what your destiny is, what you are going to become. Ya ante matihi sa gatihi. What is the mati or the thought ante at the departure is gatihi, that's the destination. Therefore, in a way, Lord Krishna is teaching here how to die. How to die with the thought of Ishvara in our mind. That is possible that one can die with the thought of Ishvara, then one becomes one with Ishvara. Therefore, here Lord Krishna teaches the yoga, how the yogis gain that ability to focus their mind. First, Lord Krishna said, Tasmat sarveshu bhave kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha. Hey Arjuna, since the thought at the time of departure determines your destiny, therefore, sarveshu kaleshu, all the times, mamanusmara, may you remember me. Yudhyacha, and perform your duties if necessary. If it is necessary that you have commitments, obligations, then do perform your duty. Let duty, performance of the duty or the karma, let that be the occasion to constantly remember me. Sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara. So this is the way Lord Krishna is suggesting how to make sure that at the end of life, at the time of departure also, my thought is focused upon Ishvara, that for all the time I should do that. Mayi arpita mano buddhi mame vaishyasya samshaya. By constantly remembering me, mayi arpita mano buddhi, you'll become one whose manaha and buddhi both are surrendered to the Lord. Both are given to the Lord. The mind is the emotional faculty. Buddhi is the thinking faculty. So what we want is that our entire personality, which consists of mind and intellect, we are a thinking people, knowing people, the same time a feeling people. I am an emotional being as well as an intellectual being. And therefore, mayarpita manobuddhi, both the mind as well as intellect, both the emotional being as well as the intellectual being, both of these are centered or focused upon Ishvara. So that is what we would accomplish during this life. Sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha. Well, performing your duty. Performance of duty involves both the emotional person as well as the intellectual person, because in duty there is a sense of obligation. They are obliged to such and such, obliged to my parents, obliged to society, obliged to devatas. The sense of obligation is felt, in my mind. And then that means that I have this duty to perform, this action to perform also involves my thinking faculty, intellect. So may you focus both your mind as well as intellect upon me. Mayarpita manobuddhi. Become one whose manaha and buddhi, both of them are given to me, surrendered to me, focused on me. So that is the way of becoming one with Ishvara. Because who am I? I am basically my mind and buddhi is what makes me up. I am emotional being and intellectual being. That is what I am. If both these faculties are centered upon the Lord, then I am centered upon the Lord. So this is what we have to accomplish in our life. That the buddhi or the intellect is given to thinking about the Lord, contemplating, and the mind is given to worshipping the Lord. So worship of the Lord, perform your duties as an act of worship. And intellect also determines what the duty is, what my role is, what my obligation is. Therefore, in everything that I do, both my mind as well as intellect, both of these are involved. Emotionally I am committed to that as well as intellectually committed to that. Mayarpita manobuddhi. And when we recognize that whatever we do, ultimately we are doing for Ishvara. Even though the one for whom immediately I am doing, maybe my boss, my parents, or someone immediately there. But through that, ultimately, I am only serving Ishvara. So we have to see that connection with Ishvara all the time. That even though I contribute to this, and that contributes to that, that contributes to this, and ultimately what I do here reaches Ishvara. I said the other day, a temple is being built, an architect comes to visit and asks one of the laborers, "What are you doing?" Filling my stomach, what am I doing? That's all I do. Went further, asked the second person, "What are you doing?" Breaking the stones. Went further, asked the third person, "What are you doing?" Building temple. It's just a matter of understanding what it is that what we are doing ultimately contributes to a much greater cause. Immediately I am just breaking stones. Then I realize that the stones that are broken go here, there, and ultimately they contribute to building the temple. And so whatever little I am doing ultimately contributes to serving Ishvara. That connection we have to see. And that is how whatever I do becomes the service to Ishvara, worship to Ishvara. Mayarpita manobuddhi. How do I become one whose mind and intellect both are centered upon the Lord? In this way. When I see how I am connected to the Lord, how what I do also is connected to the Lord, and that way I remain connected to Ishvara in whatever I do. That way what I do becomes the opportunity or occasion to remember Ishvara and to worship Ishvara. That connection I have to see, otherwise I am cooking, doing vacuum, mowing the lawn. This kind of, mundane tasks I may be doing. I think that I am worshipping Ishvara when I am at puja room or when I am temple that I am doing it. Not while mowing the lawn, not while vacuuming my floor, but you are. So that connection we have to see. So that doesn't matter what you do. What is important is that your mind and intellect, both of them are centered upon Lord. Sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha mayarpita manobuddhi. At all the times thus, remember me with your emotion, your devotion, as well as your understanding centered upon me. Mameva eshasi asamshaya. There is no doubt, Arjuna, that living life in this manner, you will reach me. You become one with me. The whole idea is that, in fact, that we have become one with Ishvara is something to be discovered. The separation that I feel from Ishvara is only a perceived separation. Like a wave may feel that it is separate from ocean, it is separate from other waves, and that's how, that is a perceived sense of separation, not a real sense of separation. Even now also, therefore, when I see that I am different from Ishvara, it is my conclusion or notion that I am different from Ishvara. Because what is Ishvara, and therefore I am always one with Ishvara at the level of the self. But that has to become a reality, and this is the process that we are told. How do we slowly bring in Ishvara in our life? And Ishvara pervades my life. Ultimately, Ishvara becomes me or I become Ishvara. Mayarpita manobuddhi mameva eshyasi asamshaya. Just as ocean is telling a wave that you always contemplate upon me, think of me, worship me, dedicate yourself to me, you become me. Because wave is not separate from ocean to begin with, but the separation level of the intellect and the emotion. So when that barrier goes away, because at the level of intellect I think I am so and so, level of emotion I think that I am such and such. So when both these faculties are centered upon Ishvara, then slowly these notions on my part they change and discover the oneness with Ishvara, which is existing, which is what I have to see, recognize. How do you do this all the time? So the 8th verse said, Abhyasa yoga yuktena cetasa nanyagamina paramam purusham divyam yati pathana chintayan. Abhyasa yoga yuktena. Abhyasa means to repeat something. Where abhyasa, to repeat this, meaning repeatedly remembering Ishvara. Here abhyasa is repeatedly remembering Ishvara. Yoga, that alone becomes yoga. So yoga of the nature of abhyasa, yoga of the nature of constantly repeating Ishvara. chetasa nanyagamina. As the mind discovers, this repetition simply does not work. But when we repeat a name or repeat, then as the mind discovers a certain amount of joy in doing that. The problem that we usually have in doing japa, Swamiji, my mind wanders here and there. I have a hard time focusing my mind. One of the important reasons is that my mind does not enjoy what it is doing. I sit in my mind, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Mind likes to enjoy what it does. And then when doing japa or any practice of meditation, if mind doesn't find any pleasure, then it's not going to stay there. So, bhyas chetasa nanyagamina, by a mind that does not distract. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanyagamina, by the abhyasa, repeated practice of focusing the mind upon Ishvara, by a name, by a form, by whatever it is that connects you with Ishvara. As the mind discovers slowly the joy of repeating that name, the joy of that meditation, then a time comes when the mind itself does not want to get distracted. You give to a child something that a child loves to do. Otherwise it does something, puts away, runs around. Because it is not interested in what you are asking it to do. If you find something that a child enjoys, then it gets engaged with that. And so also, when the mind enjoys what it is doing, enjoys repeating the name, enjoys thinking, enjoys meditation, and as it discovers more and more fulfillment, then it wants to remain there. Like a honeybee would want to get stuck where the honey is there. Chetasa nanyagamina, by a mind which by its own will remains on the focus or object of meditation. Nanyagamina, that it doesn't distract anywhere else. So this is what Lord Krishna says was to achieve by abhyasa yoga, by constant practice. Paramam purusham divyam yadi partha anuchintayan. He partha anuchintayan, constantly chintayan, constantly thinking, contemplating, meditating. Paramam purusham divyam yati. He attains divya, the divine. Paramam, the limitless. Purusha, the Paramatma, he attains, reaches, becomes one with the Paramapurusha, the limitless Lord. Although here, so Purusha, who is that Purusha is in fact described in the next verse, verse number 9. Let us read that verse. You have any handouts here or? I have it, but in Kavim Puranamanushasitaram Anoraniyam Samanusmaredyaha Sarvasya Dhataram Chintya Rupam Adityavarnam Tamasah Parastat. So this is the object of meditation of this yogi. Ishvara is described in this way. Kavim, Sarvajnam, coming, all-knowing. Puranam, ancient. Because Ishvara is present before the creation also, is there after this dissolution also. Puranam, ancient. Meaning beginningless. Anushasitaram, one who is the ruler. So, this Ishvara is conceived as the ruler of the whole universe. Because we find the universe is ruled inasmuch as every entity in the universe seems to be following a law, a harmony, whether it is sun or the moon or the fire or wind or whatever, all these powerful forces also have no freedom to transgress the law. They all function within the boundaries of their law or boundaries of what they are assigned. Looks like every entity assigned a task and everything remains within those boundaries and obediently performs the tasks. Therefore we imagine that there must be a ruler who keeps everybody under control. That this is our imagination. Since we see things controlled, therefore we imagine a controller. Then when you go to him and ask him, how do you control Bhagavan? Well, he has so many arms and so many weapons and that he controls. He says, no. As far as I am concerned, I just am. Meaning that there is no controlling business as far as Ishvara is concerned. Because if Ishvara also has to make even slight effort to control, that effort over this beginningless time would add up to an exertion and the Ishvara also would wear out. Meaning that no effort should be required in the whole task of creation, sustenance, dissolution of the whole universe. Everything is done effortlessly. If anything requires a slight effort, we know that the whole process is going on for time beginningless. That little effort added up ultimately will wear out Ishvara also. And Ishvara remains ever the same. Therefore, in his whole process of creation, sustenance, dissolution, control, ruling, no effort is required. So how can it happen? You find that even to this control my children, control my health, I need a lot of effort. To control any little thing also. With the dog, at least when it wakes up in the morning, then I have to work hard, to control that thing. They say in the beginning, you take the dog for a walk. And the dog takes you for a walk. So it is our experience that to control anything, you require effort. So can you imagine controlling the whole universe with so many mighty forces? And the basic rule is that nobody wants to be controlled. Everybody and everything loves freedom, independence. And we resist any control, any control. And still we find the whole universe functioning in a disciplined manner. So therefore we imagine that there must be a ruler, a controller. As far as the ruler is concerned, he says that no effort is involved on my part to rule. I just am. So Kavim, omniscient, all-knowing, because the Creator must know about all, he must have knowledge of what he is going to create. Not only that, after creation also, to manage the whole universe requires all the knowledge. In order to assign duties to sun and moon and stars and wind, he must know what sun is capable of doing, what moon, everybody can do. And therefore, he must be omniscient to create, must be omniscient to sustain. Even how to dissolve everything requires omniscience, Kavim, Puranam, Anusasitaram, Anoho, Aniyamsam, subtler than the subtlest, Sarvasya Dhataram, the Karmaphala Data, the dispenser of the results. So that shows is this law of karma, by the way. Whatever kind of notions people have about law of karma, it is basically law of fairness, understand? Law of karma is law of fairness. That the basis of the whole universe is fairness. This is not fair, Swami. You may think so. So God is not fair to me. Maybe we may feel so. But nothing can function properly if fairness is not there. Even no organization and no country and nothing can function for a length of time, and the universe is functioning from time beginningless. That cannot be unless there is fairness, because when there is fairness, then there is harmony. If fairness is not there, some people are dissatisfied, some people are revolting. So all kinds of problems will be there if fairness is not there. Here we find every element in the universe happily performing their functions. You don't find the sun or the moon or the stars or even an atom also unhappy, depressed. Atom says, today I won't move. Sun says, I'm not feeling well today. No such thing. Not only everything is functioning happily, understand? Add this one. Everything is functioning freely, happily, because there is fairness. There is goodness behind everything. So Anushasana or control does not require any effort. It just requires the presence of Ishvara. Sarvasya Dhataram, one who dispenses the results of all the actions to everybody. Human being is the only entity that has a problem. In this whole universe, one who has dissatisfaction and complaints and stuff like that is all the human beings. Nobody else complains. No dogs, no cats, no flies, nobody complains. They seem to be in harmony with what is. You see the birds chirping every morning, running around, flying about here and there. Evening when you take a walk, sometimes see the deer, that family. And so those people are all free, happy. A human being has a problem, poor fellow. But that is okay. There is a reason for that. Looks like human being has a problem with sadness, and so that seems to be a curse, but that's actually also a blessing. But anyway, so Sarvasya Dhataram Achintya Rupam Aditya Varnam Tamasah Parastat. Aditya Varnam, who is self-shining, Tamasah Parastat, which is beyond the darkness of ignorance, meaning that that illumines even the darkness of ignorance. So this meditation is done for the whole life, day and night. And so, how does the yogi at the time of departure from his body, how is the situation? The verse 10 describes that. Prayana kale manasa chalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva Prormadhye pranamavesya samyaka Satam param purushamupairi divyam. So Prayanaka Arjuna asks, how do the yogis remain centered in you even at the time of departure from this body? So Lord Krishna described the process of meditation, the object of meditation. Prayana kale manasa achalena. Now this is not something ordinary at all. We have difficulty in focusing mind even for a minute, not prayana kale, in our day-to-day life. Prayana kale, at the time of departure, when a lot of struggle is going on inside, at that time also to be able to have a focus of the mind, concentration of the mind, is the achievement of the highest order. This achievement, siddhi or accomplishment, can be considered as higher than any other accomplishment. Because this is an accomplishment that enables you to be one with Ishvara, merge into Ishvara. Prayana kale achalena manasa. Prayana kale, prayana means departing from this body. Prayana kale, while departing from this body, achalena manasa, by the mind that is achalam, unwavering, unswerving. This is one aspect. Bhaktya yukta. Yukta endowed with bhaktya, bhakti, endowed with bhakti. As I pointed out, first time that Lord Krishna used the word bhakti in this chapter, by the way. He used it earlier. So Bhagavan went to bhakti. He haven't talked about bhakti at all here, and all of a sudden it is bhaktya yukta. So bhaktya, I must have forgotten, I guess, bhaktya yukta. The idea is that this kind of focus or concentration is not possible without bhakti or love. Although it may not be specifically stated, but abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanyagamina, when Lord Krishna said early in the 8th verse, that by chetas, by mind, that by itself does not swerve, does not go anywhere. Because of the constant practice of being focused upon Ishvara, then the element of bhakti must be understood. It is bhakti or the love for Ishvara that binds the mind. You require a binding element. So mind will remain focused upon something provided it is bound. That is a bond there. So it is understood that this yogi here has created a bond with Ishvara. When that bond is there, that love is there, then the mind enjoys thinking about it. Mind wants to think about it. Here also, when we love something or somebody, the mind wants to go back. Takes any opportunity to go back to that thing which we love. And thus, if we have discovered a love for Ishvara, And that is by recognizing how we are always, as our Puja Swami would say, that one relationship that is always constant. Other relationships change. With father I may be son, with son I may be father, I am brother. All different relationships are there with different entities of the world. With Ishvara, he is Bhagavan, I am Bhakta. So, then the trick he showed that even when you are father, remember that you are father, Bhakta father. Because your relation to Ishvara always remains constant, that you are a Bhakta or devotee. These fathers and all these local roles are there coming and going. But that connection is always there, that under any circumstances you are created and he is creator. You are Bhakta, the devotee, and he is the Lord. And therefore, the son devotee, father devotee, mother devotee, guru devotee, shishya devotee, servant devotee, master devotee. Even as my roles keep on changing during various functions in my life, one thing does not change, and that is that I am Bhakta or the devotee of the Lord. So that is how then, this is how we have to connect everything with Ishvara. Therefore, sarveshu kaleshu mamunasmara yudhyacha, all the time remember me while performing your duty. When we have discovered that connection with Ishvara, during all the roles. And so, it doesn't matter what the role is. Father, Bhakta father. Son, devotee son. Brother, devotee brother. Boss, devotee boss. Meaning that connection with Ishvara always remains. And thus, we remain a devotee in spite of the various changing roles. Bhaktya yukta. Bhakti or the devotion has been done all throughout. Then of course, that is what, as I said, bonds the mind with Ishvara. So bhaktya yukta. Even at the time of death also, this bhakti enables me to have my mind bonded with Ishvara. Yoga balena chaiva. And then the mind may still have some habitual restlessness that by yoga they is also brought under control. Bhravor madhye pranamavesha samyak. The Lord Krishna here prescribes how to, while departing, what to do, that your prana is slowly brought to a point between the two eyebrows, satam param purusham upaiti divyam, and then it departs. In fact, when you depart from the crown of the head, that is when you reach Brahmaloka. Satam param purusham upaiti divyam, he attains that divyam param purusham, the divine Ishvara. Verse 11 is a nice verse. Let us read that. Yadaksharam veda vido vadanti vishanti yatayo vitaraga yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti tatte padam sangrahena pravakshye. A small hall, so it rebounds very well. Tatte padam sangrahena pravakshe. Tat padam te sangrahena pravakshe. Tat padam, that abode. So padaniyam iti padam, that which is to be reached is called pada here. Pada can be a means by which you reach or the destination which you reach. Here the word pada is the destination that you reach. Tatte padam, that ultimate destination which is Param Brahma. Sangrahena pavakshe. Here Arjuna, I will tell you in brief. That ultimate abode, the ultimate goal, the ultimate destination. What the Kathopanishad describes as Tad Vishnoho Paramam Padam. Vishnoho Tat Paramam Padam. The supreme abode of Lord Vishnu. Although Vishnoho Padam is abode of Vishnu, Vishnoho is the sixth case. Abode of Vishnu. The sixth is called Sambandha Shashti. Abode of Vishnu, where Lord Vishnu is, but abode is different from Vishnu, isn't it? So sixth case suggests a Sambandha or relationship here, but it's not that it's called, this sixth case is to be taken only in a secondary sense. Rahoho Shirah, there is an expression in Sanskrit, head of the Rahu. Head of the Rahu, but Rahu itself is head, So Rahoho Shirvat Shashti. The sixth case is not relation between the two, it is one alone. So Vishnu Padam. Vishnu, that is Padam. Not the abode of Vishnu or Lord Vishnu, it is abode, that is Lord Vishnu. Sangrahena Pravakshe. That I'll tell you briefly. Yad Aksharam Veda Vido Vadanti. There is Aksharam. That is immutable. That is single syllable. So Lord Krishna is here going to give us a mantra for meditation, that is Om. Yad Aksharam. Aksharam is immutable. Aksharam means also a syllable. A single syllable word. Om is a single syllable word. Veda Vido Vadanti. Which the notes of the Veda, they Vadanti. They prescribe, they teach, they unfold, they Vishanti yatayo vitaragaha. To enter that abode called Om, what is necessary? Vitaraga. So those from whom all the ragas, the attachments have gone away. Not they have gone away from attachments have gone away. If you go away from somewhere, that thing can follow you also. If it goes away from you, then no question of following. So ideally, ragadvesha should go away from us. So those from whom the ragadveshas have gone away, when will they go away? When I am focused upon, identified with something which is free from ragadvesha. Only one thing is free from ragadvesha, that is Ishvara. Ultimately, the nature of self, but Ishvara is the only entity that is free from ragadvesha. We cannot imagine an entity having certain attributes that can be free from ragadveshas completely. Ishvara is supreme leader. An ideal leader must be free from ragadvesha. You can be a good leader only when you don't favor somebody and you are not cruel to somebody. Raga, you favor somebody. Dvesha, you are cruel to somebody. You don't use your power to favor somebody, power to punish somebody. You use power to protect everybody, to lift everybody. That's what a leader does. Ishvara is ideal leader. Had he not been ideal leader, this universe would have not, there would have been all kinds of coupes and all sorts of things would have happened here, But nothing has happened for billions of years because there's complete harmony. And so, Ishvara is totally devoid of raga and dveshas. And therefore, to achieve or reach Ishvara also, we must become essentially free from raga and dveshas. Vishanti yad yatayo vitaragaha. Yad vitaragaha yatayaha vishanti. Yatayaha, the sages, the yogis, who are free from ragas and therefore dveshas, vishanti, enter, become one with. Yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti, desiring to know which, many aspirants take to the life of brahmacharya, meaning that they leave all their protections. In Puja Swami's words, burned all the boats. Bhikshacharyam charanti, putreshanayasya, vitteshanayasya, lokeshanayasya, vitthaya. Atha bhikshacharyam charanti. Yuthaya, having grown out of putreshana, desire for putra, vitta the wealth, loka the worlds, having grown out of all these desires now, bhikshacharyam charanti. They take to life a mendicant. The idea is not to become a mendicant. The idea is that that fellow has nothing else to do now. He has all the time available to him, except whatever time goes in begging for bhiksha. So he is not to become a beggar, so that he can devote all his time now to Shravanam, Mananam, Nidhyasanam. Idichanto brahmacharyam charanti. Desiring to know whom? These aspirants take to the life of brahmacharya. Tatte padam sanghrena pravakshe. That I will tell you in brief. So the verse number 13 says, Yeah, I will tell you. Omityekaksharam brahma vyaharan mamanusmaran yah prayati tyajandeham sayati paramam gatim. Yadaksharam veda vedo vadanti. Lord Krishna made a preface, Yadaksharam veda vedo vadanti. Aksharam, immutable, single syllable, word. What is that? Om. So here, Lord Krishna also prescribes Om as a mantra for meditating upon Brahman. And Om can be used for meditating upon Saguna Brahma or Nirguna Brahma also. Ekaksharam Brahma, single syllable Brahma. So Om is called Brahma, single syllable Brahma. Vyaharan, Mamanusmaran, Vyaharan, reciting that. Mentally repeating Om, 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 Om. Mamanusmaran, and remembering me. So Lord Krishna says here that uttering Om, Om, Om in the mind and Mamanusmaran, remembering me. So last time we said that this is a great accomplishment, that when we utter a word in our mind, then the meaning also flashes in the mind. These words are uttered and the meanings flash in your mind. That's how communication takes place. Similarly, so we work very hard with the language and other things so that when I say ghata, pata, matha, all of that makes sense to you. Similarly, Om, when it's uttered in the mind, what meanings splashes? So that depends also on the preparation of the mind. The ghata, pata, matha, these words can reveal their meanings in our mind with whatever kind of mind, samsari mind that we have. But when the word Om is uttered, for that to reveal its meaning or flash the meaning requires a samsari mind. It requires antahkarana shuddhi, it requires preparation, which also comes by uttering Om. So Om as mantra also, if we keep on uttering in our mind, it also brings about the purification of mind. When we have this idea, attitude, Om is Ishvara. With that bhava, when we repeat Om, in course of time, this Om also becomes a means of purification of mind. And then a time comes when Om means the meaning also is revealed, that consciousness is me. All mantras are like that, by the way, but those days only this mantra was there. Or Om Tat Sat, Lord Krishna will say in the 17th chapter. Om iti ekaksharam brahma vyaharan ma manusmaran. This is the time of departure, by the way. So in mentally that is Om, 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 ma manusmaran. And the meaning of that word, which is Brahman, also flashes in his mind. Meaning that utterance of Om brings about also the flashing of the meaning, and therefore he meditates upon Brahman. Yah prayati tyajan deham. Yah tyajan deham, yah prayati, one who departs, leaving this body. Meaning that something remains. What is the reason why Lord Krishna says departing from the body? That's a departure, is no. In case somebody thinks that departing from the body nothing remains, is no. The self remains. So tyajan deham, departing from the body, sayati paramam gatim, he attains the paramam gatim, the ultimate goal, the supreme goal, which is Brahman. He is Saguna Brahma. So how do you do that? Read the verse number 12. Sarvadvarani sanyamya Manorudin rudhyacha Murdnyadhayatmanah pranam Asthito yoga dharana. So when Lord Krishna said, uttering Om and remembering the meaning, what are the conditions required? Sarvadvarani sanyamya. You block all the gates of organs of perception, organs of action, meaning that now organs of perception are all withdrawn from their respective objects. Organs of action are also now settled in their own locations. Mano rudin rudhyacha. The mind is now focused or concentrated upon in the heart. Murdnya adhayat. And slowly that mind from the heart through the Sushumna Nadi goes up to the crown of the head. Yoga Dharanam. And then uttering Om and departing from the body, he achieves Brahman or the Saguna Brahma, Brahmaloka. So this is the whole process of attaining Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka is the world of Brahma. Even though Vedanta does not look upon that as the ultimate goal, because that is attaining Saguna Brahma, but there is a concept of what is called Krama Mukti or Mukti, liberation in stages. That first you go to Brahmaloka, that is identification Saguna Brahma, and from there you go to Nirguna Brahma, Brahmaji supposedly gives it Upadesha, and with knowledge then you attain moksha or liberation. So this is two-stage process. If you know here I am Brahman, right away you are liberated. This way is a two-stage process. So this is what Lord Krishna described so far. We'll give a break here for about 20 minutes and continue our discussion.